everybody, welcome to Back to Basics. Welcome to my home office. Some of you may have already seen it on Zoom because I spend a lot of my time here in this room. This used to be a bedroom, but now it's my office. So welcome. You can see here's my desk and my computers. So today we are going to be learning about making lists. So I make a lot of lists. You can see behind me is my wall of lists. Most of those notes are my music lists that I use for when I teach music and movement on Mondays. But I also have a lot of to-do lists that I use to keep track of my job and things I need to do at work. But I also use them to help me remember what chores I need to do or what groceries I need to buy. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to make a list and what you can use lists for. So first thing you need when you make a list is a place to have the list. So a lot of times I like to use Post-it notes. These are the super sticky ones so they can hang on my wall, or I can hang them on my speaker for when I teach music. But you could also use a big legal pad. I have one of these that I use. You can see I have Post-it notes stuck to that too. Sometimes I use a calendar. Can you see? These are my calendar pages for when I plan virtual programs for the DSA. So there's lots of different ways you can make a list. So let's talk about why we make a list. So life can sometimes be really hard to remember everything. So when we make a list, it helps us remember the things we need to do. So first step, make a list to help you remember. Second thing, lists can also help us stay on track. Sometimes it's easy to get distracted and stop doing the things that we need to do. So if we have a list, we can actually check it off and remember what we're supposed to be working on. Another thing that lists help with is it's a visual representation of the tasks that need to happen or the things we need to purchase. So if you're working with your loved one who has Down syndrome, or you have Down syndrome, sometimes having a visual place to see what I'm supposed to do helps me be more successful. And then the last thing about making lists is sometimes just the act of writing it or typing it helps me do a better job. So let's talk about a grocery list. So here's my list for my groceries. What a lot of times I like to do is I like to actually go to my refrigerator or my pantry and I like to look and see what I have. I can open the door and see, do I need milk? Do I need bread? How about eggs? How about cookies? Those always go on my grocery list. So it's a great idea to go to the place where you're looking for things and see if you have them so that you don't accidentally have too many gallons of milk or too many packs of eggs in your fridge. So once you have looked at what you need, then it's a good idea to actually write down the things that you need. Now, if you aren't a pen and paper kind of girl like me, you can use the Notes app on your phone. You can use pictures. You can even do text or voice to text on your phone as well. So you can even say, I need a gallon of milk. I need a dozen eggs, and it'll type it for you. So that's a really cool way to do it as well. So when you're making your grocery list, you want to write it all out. If you're feeling really crafty, you can even write it out by the way that you shop in the store. So like you might start with produce, and then the bakery aisles, then maybe canned goods, then meats. Maybe the freezer section is last, and dairy. You can think about that when you're making your list as well. Another thing you could do is your to-do list. So in my house, everyone has chores and things they have to do. So it's nice to make a list for each person. So my list might say, get up, take a shower, go to work, email, don't forget to make Back to Basics at 1 o'clock. It might also have things like dust and vacuum or run a load of laundry. So whatever your list needs to say for you or for your family, that's what you should have on your list. I usually have a few lists going all at once. The other thing about making lists is make sure that you give yourself time, because sometimes I'll think of things that I need to do and I'll write them down, and then I'll think of something else later that might also need to be done, and I'll go back later and add a little bit more to that list. Well, friends, I hope you make a list. I hope you check it twice, and you have a great day. If you have questions about making lists or the best way to use lists to help your loved one with Down syndrome, please feel free to reach out to me at Andi@dsagsl.org, and I would love to talk to you about making lists with words, pictures, or voice memos as well. So hopefully you have a great time making a list. Well, have a great rest of your week, friends. Thanks for joining me on Back to Basics. We'll see you next time.